Once upon a time, a man approached Gautam Buddha, seeking wisdom on how to control his emotions. He struggled with anger and frustration and was looking for a way to manage his reactions better. Buddha smiled and asked him to sit. Then he said, "Let me tell you a story. Long ago, in the prosperous kingdom of Magadha, there ruled a king known for his wealth and power. One day, he decided to visit the neighboring kingdom of Kashi, where the ruler was famous for his wisdom and serenity. Upon his arrival, the king of Kashi welcomed him with great honor and arranged a grand feast. As they dined, the king of Magadha noticed a small insect in his food. Disgusted, he immediately summoned his attendants and ordered them to replace his meal. Observing this, the king of Kashi smiled and gently said, "Your Majesty, it is just a small insect. Why let it disturb your peace?" The king of Magadha replied, "I cannot tolerate such things. Even the smallest inconvenience can ruin my mood." The wise king of Kashi responded, "It is not the insect that disturbs you, but your reaction to it. True strength lies in mastering your emotions rather than letting them control you." Hearing these words, the king of Magadha was humbled. He realized the truth in them, and from that day began practicing restraint and patience. Over time, he became calmer, made wiser decisions, and ruled with a balanced mind. Buddha turned to the man and said, "Just like that king, many of us allow external situations to dictate our emotions. But if we learn to control our reactions, we can remain at peace even in the most challenging moments." However, controlling emotions does not mean suppressing them. Emotions are natural, but instead of reacting impulsively, we should pause, process our feelings, and respond with awareness. In the city of Varanasi, there lived a young man named Arjun. He was quick-tempered and often reacted impulsively to situations that upset him. Arguments, misunderstandings, and frustration followed him wherever he went. One day, after a heated argument with a friend, Arjun realized how his uncontrolled emotions were damaging his relationships. He decided to change. He began practicing meditation and mindfulness. Whenever something upset him, he took a deep breath, stepped back, and observed his emotions instead of reacting instantly. At first, it was difficult, but over time, he found it easier to remain calm. His relationships improved, and people around him started admiring his patience. One day, a friend who was going through a tough time came to him for advice. Arjun listened patiently and offered words of wisdom. "You always remain so calm," his friend said. "How do you do it?" Arjun smiled and replied, "I still feel anger and frustration, but I don't let them control me. By practicing mindfulness and patience, I have learned to respond rather than react." Buddha concluded his teaching with these words: "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Do not let emotions control you. Instead, learn to observe and guide them." The man who had come to Buddha left with a new perspective. He understood that true peace comes not from controlling the outside world, but from mastering one's own mind. By practicing patience, mindfulness, and self-awareness, we can transform our lives, improve our relationships, and find inner peace.
If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Mindora Tales for more stories of wisdom, courage, and wonder.